Buenos dias, Gunners Collective. Back at it? You already know. Are we back at it? We're back at it. Buy up, buy up, buy up. Yeah, we're back at it. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. Like a torta with a snack habit. Buy up, buy up, buy up. Orale, as you can tell by that thumbnail right there, Turlock. A city located in the Central Valley, right? Now, everyone always talks about Modesto, Stockton, Merced, Madera, Fresno. When you think about the Central Valley, those are the cities you think about. But not a lot of people talk about the little old city of Turlock, right? Man, I wouldn't even call it a city. It's a town business, right? Like Oakland. But the difference is Turlock wiggles, right? Don't get it confused and don't get it twisted. Guard! I said motherfucking Turlock wiggles, right? They definitely wiggle. I'm not going to act like I know the city of Turlock fucking per se, like I was there every day. But I spent a lot of summers out there when I was young, very, very young. And I met a lot of people. My grandmother lived in Turlock for several years. She moved from a little town called Patterson to Modesto, from Modesto to Turlock. And she kept that Bermuda Triangle going. She was always in one of those cities. And I like to go spend time with my abuelita because I had a tío that was just a couple years older than me. So whatever homeboys he had, those were the homeboys I wiggled with. And me being a youngster, I'm talking about pre-CYA, I'm talking about young, you know what I mean? 8, 9 years old. I wanted to go wiggle with them because they were older, they were bolder from having the weight of the world on their shoulders, right? They were different, they were moving in a northern fashion, and I was trying to indoctrinate myself and educate myself into what norteños did. So that was my eye-opening experience, right? I definitely had homeboys and people that I kicked it with on the block. Back in the days how we did it. We just sat there at the park all day waiting for something to get into. Bored than a motherfucker, right? Hoping some rivals, some enemies, anybody would pass by so that way we could throw rocks at them or do something stupid. But when I went to Turlock, I felt liberated. I felt different. I had a lot of freedoms. Freedoms because I was out of my jefita's eyesight and my abuelita pretty much let me do whatever the fuck I wanted to do, right? So freedoms as a little kid to kind of just be my own man, but at the same time, I met some good gente. Now, let me tell you about some war stories in Turlock. When I got out of YA, I went back to Turlock a lot to visit my family. I got a big family in Turlock, California. There's a lot that I don't even know. There's a lot that don't know me. Well, guess what? Bang, bang. It's me, ese. You know what I mean? Here I am. I would go out to Turlock all the time and chill with my tío and his homeboys. And I'll tell you right now, we got very close, man. We became very good friends. Whereas even nowadays, and I'll tell you a trippy story about one of the homeboys from Turlock in a minute. But anyways, I remember we used to go out there and just hang out and do stupid shit, right? Things that you did in the 90s. See, it's a lot different from now to then. Now everybody wants to go in a house and sit there 10 homeboys deep eating potato chips playing 2K. See, back in our days, we didn't do that. Like I said, we was out on the block trying to get a 40, trying to get a kawama, trying to go out there and kick it with some chicks, wearing silver tabs and white polo t-shirts. This is what we did. This was part of being a gang member. This was part of just living that life. Raza. That's what we did. Everybody knows you were either on the calles out there gangbanging or you were either at Miller's Outpost getting some silver tabs to go out on the calles and gangbang. Dickies, bands, and silver tabs. Oh my. That was the wiggle. So I'm going to tell you guys a couple stories. When I used to go to Turlock, my grandmother used to live in these apartments, right there off Pedras. Pedras was a street in Turlock by Donnelly Park. And I remember I was a little kid, man, and she had an upstairs apartment. There was a pool, raggedy old apartments, more cucarachas than people, but that's just the way it was, right? And I remember my tío, he always had a nice stereo system, so we used to open the window and bump, boom, 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 dum, 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 dum. We wanted to wake the whole apartment complex up. We wanted attention. We wanted that clout. That's just what it was, right? We were young kids coming up. And we definitely wanted to draw attention. So anyways, I remember there was this chick. She was right across the way, right? And she was older than me. I was a young kid. I was like 9, 10 years old. This right before I went to YA, right? I thought I was fucking 18 years old already, man. I thought I knew the groove, right? I thought I was Hoover grooving. So anyways, I used to look through the window and put, dum, 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 don't fight the feeling, right? louder. I wanted that bitch not to fight the feeling, right? She was like 15, 16 years old. So she would be looking over like, who is this youngster trying to get my attention? But slowly but surely, and little by little, I started to garner and gain her attention, right? Till one day I'm upstairs, fight the feeling. I made sure that she see me hit the Dougie. I was hitting the Dougie on her, right? And she was like, come here. So I went down there, and of course she's looking at me as a kid I am. You want to go swimming with me? Fuck yeah, I want to go swimming with you. I'm going to stick my chorro on you too, but at the same time, right? I'm diving in. And I remember that was one of the funnest summers I ever had until the homeboys started hating on me. See, my uncle had homeboys, like I said, that were older than me. 14, 15, 16. I was a young buck, man. And my claim to fame was, hey, I'm from Turlock. I'm from Merced, Holmes. Like I was bigger and badder than everyone else, right? I always wanted everyone to know, so although I'm here and I'm kicking back and I'm enjoying the fruits of your labor, I ain't from here, homie. I'm from there. And there is better than here. And that's what I used to always throw out there. And I got into a lot of fights because of it. Got jumped on a lot. So anyways, trip out. This chick, right? She starts to like me. That's Gail, pedophile chick, right? She's starting to like me. I'm young. She's a little bit older, like I said. We were young. She was a teenager. I was damn near wanting to be a teenager. And one of the homeboys, Juanito, right, from Modesto, that used to kick it with us all the time, he took a liking to her, right? He was like, hey, man, why are you over there talking to my girlfriend? And I said, man, well, so that's gay. You know what I mean? It's going to be like that sometimes. You know, get used to it. When you get locked up when you're older, so that's good. Motherfuckers are going to be at your door like that. Believe that, right? So anyways, I'm doing my thing, chopping it up. He's feeling some type of way. We put the boxing gloves on. Yes, the boxing gloves. You know, Gunner with the notorious boxing gloves. Juanito couldn't fight worth dog shit, right? So I was just a little kid throwing a wild. Didn't know what I was doing, just swinging. Thought I was Tyson before Tyson knew he was Tyson, right? And guess what happens? Everything's all lovely in the hood, right? Until the homeboy Omar steps up. I remember, man, I was dealing with Juanito, and he was older than me. And the homeboy fucking Omer, we call him Homer, right? He was like, how about me? And I was like, damn, that fool got some big ass fucking Dubs hands, you know, the big old mitts. I was like, damn, I ain't trying to do all that, but fuck it, though. I can't bow down like the West Side Connect. What's happening? Right? Knocked me out my toenails, right? That was it. The chick was like, damn, I didn't know he had it like that. Next thing you know, she's over there fucking with Omar. Moral to the story was, I had a good time with these gente. I had a good time with the homeboys, but everybody grew up. And some grew up a little bit more notorious than others. And some just went and did the family thing. And now you got to understand, I moved on and pressed on and pushed on to CYA, the youth authority. So I lost contact with a lot of those homeboys, but they kept the name alive, man. Because they remember that a lot of the things that we did in Turlock, a lot of the things that we did together, because I used to go out there, man, spend 2-3 months at a time, the whole summer. So I was scared all the way from motherfucking June to September. I was there until it was time for school. They remember me. And I had a lot of love and a lot of respect for the city of Turlock. Now, as I grew older, let me tell you what happens with the city of Turlock, right? I'm from Merced, eh? I get out of YA 18 years old. I go out there every once in a while to see Familia and Wiggle. But it went from when I was younger and seeing what I was seeing, everybody was like into gangbanging. Everybody was trying to be Norteños or Southsiders or whatever they were trying to be. Everybody was in the mix, right? To now, it was just a drug-infested, overpopulated little town. Everybody was off the everybody was all fucked up, right? Off the scante. And I remember thinking to myself, man, it ain't the same way it used to be. Well, times change everything. Nothing is always the same as it used to be. You got to recognize that and understand that. You know, that's like people, hey, Gunner, why don't you go back to your hood? First of all, I'm not welcome, and I know that. Second of all, the reason I don't go back to my hood is what am I going to do, Holmes? Look at the homeboys with fucking needles hanging out of their arms riding beach cruisers? There ain't nothing there to be enjoying, Holmes. The thing is to build up, mount up, regulators, and fucking push on. Move on to the next slide. Oh, but you're hiding. I'd rather be where I'm at than where you're at. You know what I mean? Let me tell you something right now. When you're over there just doing nothing, doing a whole lot of the same shit that you used to be doing, you're going to get a lot of the same results. And guess what, Holmes? You're not going to be the happy, happy man. You know what I mean? Willy Wonka, that's your candy factory. I'm going to go over here with Mr. Slugworth and give me an everlasting gobstopper. I'm going to do what I does, cuz, right? And that's just what it is. Oh, power. Ain't that right? Whack 100. Big BBL, right? Anyway, so look. I get out, I'm 18 years old, get out of YA, and go fuck with the homies from Turlock. Now, I was really pushing the movement. I was really pushing that Northeast shit, man. I was really about that. I met some good homeboys from Turlock. You know, I've told stories about little man Gary Smith from Turlock, who I met, you know, in Nellis just that one time. But he was a very well-known figure, man. Someone who had a name and a reputation in CYA and then moved on to prison and was ultimately killed in prison. Anyways, I get out of Turlock, and I got a lot of primos that are really about that mix, right? Really about that life. I don't even want to put half their names out there, but I'm going to tell you one story about one guy who was really about that, and then his whole style changed. So here we go, right? And this is no reflection on Turlock, the city of Turlock. This is just a story, a war story of Turlock, or something that is swept under the rug, but it's truth and it's facts, and I'm going to put it out there, eh? So now I get out, it's whatever, right? And I'm pushing, and me and my homeboys, we would go to Turlock to party all the time. There's some bad bitches out there, Turlock and Denair. So I was skating between Turlock and Denair. I don't care, right? You can get some bad ones. Tortas and skinny minis on mine, right? It didn't matter. As long as you had a little bit of a nalga, I can work with that, right? So we used to go out to Turlock and knock bitches, man. That's just to be real, because we done tagged everything from Merced to Atwater to Livingston. So now it's time to go into Turlock to see what they had available. And anyways, we're getting into Turlock and doing our thing. And the functionalities was real. It was great. It was gravy. It was biscuits and gravy. Biscuits with just a little whole lot of gravy, right? Anyways, we're doing a little bit of a lot of it and trip out on this. Fucking, I run into one of my primos. Now, I had several primos out there, like I said, that were really in the mix. Were really well known in Turlock. You know, when you talk about Turlock, and any Norteño that knows any Norteño knows certain individuals from the west side. You know, I happen to run into vatos like Crazy Boy. Shout outs and respects. That was the homeboy, man. Little Man, like I said, there was other vatos like Gemini. Jedi was another homeboy, man. There was another homeboy, Yo-Yo, you know what I mean? Big Yo-Yo, Little Yo-Yo. Just these individuals, I don't want to say too much, but I'm just saying they were well known out there in the west side of Turlock. My Theo, that's on the thumbnail right there, you know, the bigger one. He was well known out there. These were just individuals that people aspired to be or looked up to in the Norteño cause. But to everyone else, they were just a bunch of riffraff, right? You call it what you want, man. I call it what it is, you know? These were people I aspired to be like. So anyways, I have a primo out there. I'm not going to say his name, but let's just say he was really, really about that business and making noise, right? He was playing his trumpet like Louis Armstrong. Now, see, I see him, and he thought he was too good. Oh, you're my primo? Yeah, I guess so, eh? Right? So I'm playing the hard role. He's playing the harder role. We didn't mix. There was something about him I just didn't like. Even though I knew he was related distantly, there was something about him I didn't like. My motherfucking antennas were up and they were twirling, right, when I got around him. Because anybody who acted like this with their own familia, anybody who acted like they were too hard for the radio, like they were just that one in a little old town like Turlock, man, you were doing way too much, bro. Now, I respect Turlock and I respect the Wiggle. And I know there's some real gang members up out of there. But that doesn't mean, Holmes, you're better than anybody else. So I kind of like pushed off from this guy, seen him a few more times, and recognized the filth in his get down. Well, this is what happens with him. So time moves on, man. And I hear he gets locked up, right? I hear he gets locked up, and I'm like, damn, you know, what the fuck is this about, right? And of course, just like my antennas were letting me know, something wasn't right. Well, this big badass gangster that was really about the program, right? That was really with the Wiggle and with the activities, he gets caught up for a bad case, right? And when I say bad case, I mean they made a Lifetime movie out of his case. You know, I don't want to go into the details of the weirdo shit he was on, but let's just say him and a couple of his homeboys got on the Scante, man, and they decided that for no other reason, they were going to fuck with a kid, you know, someone that wasn't up to par and up to age. And it was an ugly crime, man. Like I said, it was so heinous and such a vicious crime that they actually made a Lifetime movie on it. Now, this fucking guy ends up getting locked up, acting like he's all hard and shit. Of course, he drops right the fuck out. Got to. You ain't going to be walking the main line with that type of shit on your jacket, right? And he ends up going to the PHU, the Protective Housing Unit. And he goes to SNYs and little other places, wherever they put him, right? Because he has some bad charges, some very, very bad charges. And I remember hearing throughout the years through my familia, hey, man, this fool thinks he's still bad. He's this, he's that. He's over there on these yards, pushing and pressing. And I was just like shaking my head like, that's despicable, man. People that find themselves in them situations or did something like that, they knew better, so they should have do better, right? But he didn't, and now he's caught up. Anyways, Vato just got out the other day, right? And my brother and some familia hit me up, and they're like, or my brother hit some other familia up, they hit me up, they're like, hey, fool, guess who just got out? Whoop-de-wop. I said, fuck him. You know what I mean? Who cares? Who cares? Because let me tell you something, man. It doesn't matter what city you're from, what town you're from, or what you do. When you catch them type of cases, I'm talking about real life. Paperwork, it's there. Lifetime movie. You know, some fucking actress doing this. When it's all that, you're done. You cease to exist. You're no longer available, Holmes. We're no longer available for your availability. It's just, it is what it is. You know, people got at me like, hey, you know, your primo guy, blah, 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 don't even say that's my primo. So I was like, that ain't my primo. You know what I mean? That's distance. That's distant. That's Latin 209. That's his primo. You know what I mean? I'm done. I ain't trying to fuck with it or buck with it. But trip out on this. So that stood out to me about the city of Turlock, man, but it had no bearing on the city of Turlock because there was real gangster shit going on in Turlock. Now, let me tell you some old school things about Turlock, right? Okay, you guys know what acid is, right? Let me make sure my hefty thing ain't looking. Okay? You know what I mean? Because according to everyone, I still live with her. So anyways, what you guys know about some acid? I did it back in the days. I wanted to indulge one time for my mind and see what the big rah-rah and the hoopla was all about. So the homeboy I went up to Frisco to Hay Street and brought back a little sheet, right? He was distributing that out to the homeboys. We was in Turlock, Donnelly Park, all chilling, man. A couple of the homeboys from VTN, Vaudreuil, Turlock North, the West Side, Turlock, Mighty High Street, locals, old school shit, right? We're posted up, kicking back, and the homeboys distributing pedazos out to people. Take a piece, right? So me being the young buck that I was, about 10 years old, I let him fry, right? And I remember we went to the fair. The Turlock Fair is right where we were at. We're at Donnelly Park. There's a Circle K. You cross a couple more streets, there was the Turlock Fair, right? Now, that was the Stanislaus County Fair. That means Vatos from Modesto, Vatos from Merced, Livingston, Cressy, fucking, even Vatos as far as Tracy, Manteca, Stockton would come, right? Hella Norteños. And everybody was on the hunt, hoping they run into a Southsider so they can get off on. I'm sorry, eh? You know what I mean? Although I'm cool with everyone, that's just the way it was in the 90s. Everybody was pressing and pushing. Everybody was fucking fully active, right? Before the word active was even active. Now, so trip out. I'm there with my homeboy Jay Bird, right? Well-known Vato out of Turlock. I'm like, hey, fool. We're wearing the exact same t-shirt. Hey, fool, let me wear that shirt, eh? He's like, yours looks just like mine. I said, yeah, but see, the way mine works is it's not fitting correctly. My shirt was like 3 sizes too big. You remember back in the days, big-ass t-shirts, big-ass fucking pants, Janko jeans. Hey, fool, come on, man. Hook me up, right? So the Vato in the middle of the fucking fair switches me shirts. And now it's too tight, right? Now it's like this. And now I'm wiggling it. I'm like, hey, bro, good looking out, right? It's like, I think I'm showing off my little muscles, right? Not muscles at that time, muscles. So anyways, I'm doing my time right there, kicking back, doing my time. Orale, right? I'm posted up right there in Turlock, chilling with the homies. And remember, I was fucking with that chick. Remember I told you guys? The one that left me for the homeboy? And they left him for the other homeboy? Okay, I got a couple kisses out of it. Okay, don't be mad at me. I was young, right? This was before the Wiggler was Dirk Diggler, right? So anyways, I'm doing my thing and trip out. I see her with a few homegirls. So of course she comes up, gives me a little kiss on the cheek, right? I'm feeling cool like I'm bad. You know what I mean? I had a paño on my head, red paño and everything, man. I thought I was cool, man. I thought I was a gangster. You know, sometimes you look back and reflect 40 years later or 35 years later, and I'm like, damn, what a fucking dummy I was, right? But it was funny. Anyways, so she had a boyfriend, an ex-boyfriend, right? And I didn't know this. And the Vatos looking at me, he's with hella Norteños, you know, and we got our little group, but you know how it is. There's different groups of different groups. He's like, hey, what's up, man? You fuck with that girl? And I said, yeah, hell yeah. Oh, hell yeah, right? And he was like, oh, hell no. Oh, man, what the fuck you do that for? You're too old, right? He jumps on me, right? We're fighting. Well, let me tell you something. And this is facts, right? Because I don't sit here boost and buff and brag about beating everyone up because it's really not truth, man. Everyone takes L's, everyone takes W's. Anyways, so that happens. Homeboys jump. It's a little rumble, right? A little rumble in the jungle right there, Stanislaus County Fairgrounds. We handle our business. We leave. We all take off running, man, because we had the upper hand that time. I won't tell you why, but let's just say things got pulled, allegedly. We're out of there, right? We get back, we're at my Abuelita's house. We're back in the apartments. Everyone's chilling, going in the pool. It is what it is. Summertime, Turlock, right? We're in Turlock. And these Vatos somehow get a hold of that chick, and she comes out talking about, remember, she lived upstairs across. Hey, my boyfriend said meet him at Donnelly Park tomorrow. Your boyfriend? Yeah, we're back together. Bitch! Is it because I got a black eye, right? Nah, she was on and off and off and on, right? She was the type, you know, turn the light on. Ugh, turn it off. Oh, she got ass. That. Anyway, so bam, we end up, all right, cool, man, I ain't no punk, eh? We ended up going to Donnelly Park the next day, and he proceeded to whip my ass all around the duck pond. Oh, man, this motherfucker had hands, bro. I'll never forget. This motherfucker felt like he was hitting me with that, what's that fucking glove that dude wears? Fucking he had the Forever Stones, the Avengers. Like, that motherfucker was hitting me with the Infinity Stones on, homes. Earth, wind, and fire. Fire, right? He got me. Anyways, trip out. I ended up going to juvenile hall, man. Stanislaus County. That's when I think it's on Bloom's I don't know what fucking Bluesberry or fucking Gumsberry or Blue Gum Road. Blue Gum Road. That's what it is. Gumsberry. Orale Modesto. It's in Modesto, man. It's on Gumsberry or fucking like Blue Gum. Anyways, they locked my ass up, man. Yellow ass t-shirts like this Lakers hat and fucking skin tight blue jeans. And that was my very, 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 very first taste of a real juvenile hall. And of course, man, because I got locked up out of Turlock, everyone thought I was from Turlock. I said, hell no, I ain't from Turlock. They told me there ain't nothing but tweakers from Turlock. And that was what it was. Anyways, I'll never forget the city of Turlock. A lot of good and bad memories. You know, my Theo hails from Turlock, represented Turlock, man. That was his town. That was his city. He wiggled there. And he represented it to the fullest. And although being incarcerated, I haven't ran into too many Norteños de Turlock or Southsiders, but I will tell you this, man, the ones that I did run into had a very righteous reputation, were about their shit. And it's the one city and one little town, like I said, that's forgot about in the Central Valley. But I'll never forget it because, like I said, I had an extensive history there. It was always cool. And I'm going to tell you one more war story since we're right here. Now, there weren't too many Southsiders from Turlock. To be honest with you, I don't even know if there was any. You know, maybe Vatos that lived there. But as far as having a barrio, there wasn't even that many Northerners. So it was just kind of just like a town where there's a lot of white people. And then you had some Norteños on the west side. And it was pretty much what it was, right? A little bit of everything. For a minute there, they had the ya bros. Hey, ya, bro. Come on, bro. Do not put Slurpee in Big Go, bro. Right? They had the ya bros there. There was like the Latin Kings out of Chicago had moved in for a minute. They were all like, I don't know what the fuck they were, right? But they didn't last too long. I remember. So anyways, there was some Southsiders out of Motown, man, out of Modesto. They used to wiggle. And they'd go out to Turlock homes hunting. They'd go out to Turlock because, you know, Modesto was applying pressure. So they figured if they came out to a smaller town, they can get their little motherfucking licks in, right? They was trying to see how many licks it would take to get back to the middle of a lollipop. So I remember they came one time, man. And we were posted up at that park again. Like I said, man, back in the 90s, you guys already know what it is. Everyone posted up at parks, waiting for some type of drama. Well, they brought us the drama. A different type of drama. A drama with the drummer. We wasn't ready. Oh, shit, right? But I remember a few Vatos got off the cars, man, and we got our little rumbleization on. I was a little ass kid out there swinging them. I thought it was bad. Well, we chased a Vato. If you were on fucking Pedros Road, man, anyone from Turlock, they'll tell you they know these are facts, true stories, right? There's the park. There used to be a field, an apartment complex. And then you go down, there was a bowling alley on the right-hand side, eh? We chased the Vato to the bowling. His homeboys like, they dipped on him, right? Orale, they about that a big old LA on him, like, orale! Mount up, right? All 6 of us Norteños running after him, young kids and teenagers, and this Vato makes it into the bowling alley. True story. I jumped up on that motherfucker bowling alley. Hey, this is my claim to fame. Out of everything I've ever done in my life, YA, prison, anything, I jumped on that motherfucker like I was Jackie Chan. Whoa! Boom! Kicked him in the head, and then the guy that was behind that gives you the bowling balls and shit, that fool beat me up. White dude. I was like, we're coming back. And we never went back because it wasn't that serious. Anyways, those are some war stories out of the city of Turlock, man. Shit, real facts, things that happened, man. I hope it made you laugh. Maybe I made you cry. I don't know, man, but I tell no lies. It's all true facts. It's real stories, man. With that being said, I hope that you move smooth with a purpose, get everything that you want coming to you. Remember, at the end of the day, it's all about the strive to struggle and the struggle to strive, man. I'm going to continue to do what I does right here. This is Gunners Collective, man. I can't stop because I won't stop and I don't stop. I know a lot of people want me to stop. If you do, leave a comment, man. Tell me to stop. If not, I'm going to keep on moving. Don't stop, yo. Thumbs up or thumbs down. Heavy's going to be the head that wears the crown. See, I'm going to continue to strive and struggle and struggle and strive for what I truly believe in, and that's the coming together of people. Let's get it. Gun. Bang, bang.